heading towards an election in 50 days' time. Joining me now is the Conservative MP Anna Soubry, of course, a former minister and a loud supporter of Remain. Welcome.
But we've moved on from that. This is the whole point, which we need to get over.
Well, OK. First of all, do you welcome this general election?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think she's done exactly the right thing. And I do welcome it. And yesterday, as you might imagine, I was in my constituency. I was talking to my association chair and other, my agent, for example, and we welcome it. Remember, we're in the middle of elections at the moment because we have our county council elections. And I've been saying this for some time because I've been literally knocking on doors and delivering leaflets, as you might imagine. I'm actually struggling to find a Labour vote, not just in my own constituency, but in the neighbouring constituency, where I do tell the Labour MP I am going, I hastily say, which is of Ashfield, and I've been going into a place called Eastwood, which is a Labour town. And people are saying to me they will not vote Labour. And what's fascinating is the number of people who say they will vote for Theresa May.
OK, I've got to ask you, will Tory voters vote for you? Because, you know, we've had all this talk of enemies of the people and the rest of it, and a suggestion that Tory Remainers are somehow traitors and traitors to Theresa May.
I think most people, when they see some of the unpleasant headlines, see them for what they are, which is unacceptable. You know, we've just got to move on, which is why I corrected you. I voted and I believed in Remain. I lost the referendum. I was one of the first people to support Theresa May. People forget that, I think. And yes, I want the best deal. So does Theresa May. That is what this is all about now. I've accepted the result. And the other thing which would be really helpful if the media remembered that, with the exception of Ken Clarke, every Conservative MP, including myself, voted for something, i.e. for the Prime Minister to trigger Article 50. Yeah, but you say this, Adam, but you don't often report that. So I'm called all these names. I've voted, effectively, for Brexit, even though I didn't believe in it, because I've honoured my promise to my electors in Broxton.
No, but this is, you do think, you do want the best, and in your terms, that is the closest possible relationship to the European Union.
Absolutely,
after
but you know what, so does the Prime Minister.
Well,
this is so interesting.
No, but this is the big question. Suppose this election works, and suppose for her, and she gets a substantially increased majority, will that give her more elbow room to have a more positive attitude towards the customs union and the single market and things like that? Why?
Because I think what she's made it very clear. I obviously listened to her on the radio this morning, and she was very clear she wants a deal. Now, if you're a hard Brexiteer, a hard Brexit is no deal, off we go. And the Prime Minister has made it very clear, yet again, she wants a deal. And I absolutely agree and support her. We want the very best deal for our country. She and I may not agree on immigration, for example, but when you listen to the way that she is understanding and accepting the needs of business, there's a huge change, I think, in some of the language and the tone, because she gets it. She's a pragmatic, one-nation Conservative, just like me.
Yeah, I understand that, but what's to say the extra Tory MPs, if she gets them, won't themselves be hardliners, aligning with the Peter Bones and the Jenkins and the rest of them, and pushing her towards that hard Brexit?
Oh no, look, the Prime Minister is very clear about what she wants and what her manifesto.
I know what she wants, but what about
what her
the extra
manifesto
troops she's going to get if she does?
And what her manifesto will be. And I think that Theresa May is one of the most important people in the history of the Conservative Party. She began the process of making us electable when she was chair of our party. She laid down the paving stones.
She called it the nasty party, or
no, she never said that.
Some people called it the nasty party. That's what she said. I was there. I was in the room.
So was I.
So was I.
And
she said some people call us the nasty party.
She said, do you know what some people call us?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Exactly. So she never called our party that, but she was being realistic in the difficulties we had. She enabled people like me, as a woman, to become a member of Parliament. She's a great reformer. I think she will be a great Prime Minister. And she laid down those paving stones for David Cameron to come in to make my party electable. She knows that. Listen and remember the words that she used on Downing Street steps when she went into number 10. She's a one-nation Tory in her heart. And now we're beginning to see that unravel, and that's very good news.
Now, you tell us about your canvassing and people saying they weren't going to vote Labour under Jeremy Corbyn. What are people saying to you about the Liberal Democrats, who do have a clear pro-European line?
Well, you know what? One of the things you find when you're canvassing, and you can come with me anytime, I promise you that, and I hope the media will get out and not just see it as a national pulse, because it's what's happening on the ground that really matters, A lot of people actually on the doorstep don't admit that they're Liberal Democrat voters. It's very strange. I don't know why that is, but it's a fact. I know from the canvass returns, we've been doing it now for many years. What we found when I had a team out last night in a particular part of my constituency, I couldn't be there because obviously I was here. They were saying actually they were quite surprised. They know the area, they know what our previous returns have been, and they found that actually a lot of Lib Dems were not coming out and saying they were going to vote Lib Dem. This is in the county council elections. We happen to have a very good Tory candidate in that particular area. But I think a lot of Lib Dems understand, certainly from people like me, that in me they will have somebody who will do the very best for her constituency, be true to her values, but they also, I think this is where the Lib Dems in many areas get it wrong, they don't want a second referendum. They genuinely want us, they've accepted the result like I have, they want us to get on with it and deliver the best possible deal for our country. That's Lib Dem voters in my part of the world. I can't speak for other parts of the world,
okay.
But that's in my part of the
Soubry,
world.
thank you very much indeed for joining us. This is All Out Politics. Coming up, what can we really expect from the coming